extension includes $31 million guaranteed, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Knox becomes one of the highest paid tight ends in the league. The Mets put co-ace Max Scherzer on the injured list because of irritation in his left side. The Mets do expect him to miss a start or two. Scherzer says the injury is not a significant one and he'll miss days and not weeks because of it. Las Vegas Aces forward Asia Wilson named WNBA MVP for the second time. She'd previously been named WNBA Defensive Player of the Year for this season.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It is hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
National media melting over nothing.
Hump day.
You know who's not melting over the press conference interaction?
It's hump day.
Literally every human that was in the press conference that witnessed the interaction.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Such is life.
Hump day.
All right, Brian Kelly updating offensive line changes.
It's hump day.
Saints promote a linebacker to the active roster.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Lance Moore next hour.
Hump day.
Leonard Fournette almost transferred.
It's hump day.
Oh. But that tease.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But that tease.
Hump day.
All right, we'll go to Atlanta
It's hump day.
to preview Saints Falcons.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Bourbon Dictionary.
Hump day.
Overrated, underrated.
It's hump day.
Lot to do.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get going. All right. We appreciate y'all for being here. Busy day, a lot to get to. Lance Moore, 1 hour from right now. No Russ Mitchell today. He is in Rome. Rome, and texted me just before the show that he got to meet the Pope. So we're not going to have Russ today. And that's probably a good thing because after he picked LSU a week ago to go 4-8, and LSU lost the manner in which they did to Florida State, I really don't want to talk to him anyway. So we'll put it off a week, and hopefully LSU will have beaten Southern, and we can regroup getting ready for LSU, Mississippi State. So, all right. Brian Kelly was on the SEC Coaches Teleconference on Wednesday, as he will be throughout the course of the season. And as he did on Tuesday, he started by giving some thoughts on LSU playing Southern in the intra-city rivalry.
We're excited about playing crosstown institution and an HBCU school in Southern. I think it's great for the city, brings the community together. Obviously a lot of history and tradition here that goes into playing this game. It's the first time, for us in playing an HBCU school. So we're excited about it. LSU and Southern playing at Tiger Stadium. It's our first home game. Certainly we want to be able to bounce back from a very disappointing loss. And obviously, get on the right track. So excited about the opportunity this Saturday.
And look, I think it's going to be a great day. Hopefully it's a great day. Hopefully there's good weather. It's rained every day for like 3 months now. Hopefully the weather's nice and the city comes together and all that is fantastic. And LSU's going to win the game. We all know that. The bigger picture issue is, can LSU iron out some of the issues that it has? And it looks like LSU is going to make some changes. At least it sounds like it. Of course, with Mason Smith's injury, it's going to change some things on the defensive front. Brian Kelly alluded to the fact that you'll see more of Savion Jones, Desmond Little, some of the guys that give you depth as they shuffle positions. Mekhi Wingo is going to step into that starting role, and you'll see more of Jacoby and Guillory. But really on the offensive line, I think, is kind of the big question, and whether or not we see changes on Saturday on that offensive line after they struggled so mightily against Florida State.
I think everything is up for evaluation. It's, certainly early in the season, and we're still, trying to put what we consider the best combinations out there. And so, I wouldn't say that, we're at a point where we feel like, all 22 positions are, etched in stone. And there are still competitive battles for positions. And in particular, I think the offensive line is one where we're going to continue to evaluate as we go from week to week.
I think that's really interesting and probably not tremendously surprising, but when he says all 22 positions aren't etched in stone, they're still looking for starters, so they clearly didn't come out of camp with 22 starters that they were comfortable would start the entirety of the season. Now, injuries already caused some of that to change, but on the offensive line in particular, I would suggest that Cam Wire is probably the odd man out here, because whenever you started camp, you had your five that we talked about a lot. And it was from left to right. You had Will Campbell, Tremont Shorts, Garrett Dellinger, Bradford at right guard, and then at right, well, actually had Frazier at right guard, Bradford at right tackle. What's interesting is Shorts became the odd man out. They moved Frazier to guard and Wire to right tackle. If Wire was initially the odd man out, I would suggest that he's probably the first man out here because Cam Wire certainly didn't have a great game. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not just pinpointing all of the struggles on Cam Wire, but he struggled, and everybody really struggled at different points. But if you're thinking, okay, who gets the opportunity? Well, the change was Shorts went out, Wire went in, and you shuffled things. The most obvious change would be going back to the line that you started with and ran most of camp with, and that was Campbell, Shorts, Dellinger, Frazier, Bradford. I tend to like Bradford better at right guard. Frazier was a freshman All-SEC tackle a year ago. Put him at right tackle. Put Shorts in at guard and see how that goes. For what it's worth, Shorts, 6'5", 340. Frazier, 6'6", 323. Frazier's built more like a tackle anyway. A little more athletic, a little more fleet. Put him out at right tackle. Put Shorts at left guard where you had him, 6'5", 340. And you get Shorts and Bradford as your two guards. Bookending or sandwiching Dellinger. You have a massive interior of your line there. That's probably your best bet. I don't know his name, but Zero from Florida State, who played the right, defensive tackle position, really gave Frazier a lot of trouble at guard. I'd probably go bigger. Ultimately, I think Emory Jones, who was running at second-team left guard throughout the bulk of camp, is a guy that could take over. My hesitancy there right now is if you start Emory Jones, then the entire left side of your line is two true freshmen with Campbell and Jones. That don't sound like a great recipe right now. I think any five you run out against Southern are going to have success. The question is, would you rather keep the five you had against Florida State and allow them to develop more continuity, or try a different lineup to see if you have more success, which inevitably you will against Southern as opposed to Florida State, but which is more valuable right now? For me, I want my best five on the field. And I think that was the first five you went with in camp, and I'd like to see how that looks. A couple of other things that Brian Kelly talked about. He did go in a little more detail today about Joe Fouche and why he is being held out right now.
Joe has been amazing. It really has to do with some technical issues relative to, credit hours and transfer credit hours. And so it's really difficult for me to get into the specifics of it, but it's really unfortunate. Joe's done everything we've asked him to do, but sometimes in the transfer process, credit hours are earned and lost. And, he was put into a very, difficult situation relative to gaining hours. So, yeah, we're in that process. Certainly, Joe's been great in everything that we've asked him to do, and we're hoping to get him back as soon as we can.
one of the things Kelly did mention is, Fouche's issue did not stem from anything since it's been at LSU. It was a credit transfer hours issue. I dealt with that personally. I've told you my freshman year I went to Holy Cross in South Bend, transferred to LSU. When I transferred, I had a 1 credit hour course that I had to take at Holy Cross. I took a 4-hour Spanish credit course at Holy Cross, and only 3 hours were accepted at LSU. Honest to goodness, true story, I got to my final semester of college. I was prepared to graduate, and I was a December graduate. It was October. One of the graduation counselors called me in and told me I was a credit short of graduating. And I said, and what are you going to do to fix this? Because they essentially signed my my class list for that fall semester with me on track to graduate, and then they caught the mistake of the credit hour not transferring. And so I ended up taking a 1-hour typing course online to get a credit that I needed to graduate, and I graduated. But that's something that is common. When you transfer, different schools sometimes don't honor credits obtained at another school the same way. It happened to me personally. So it looks like it's happened to Joe Fouche here as well, and hopefully they get him back quickly. But in the meantime, they've been good at safety. I think they're good at safety with Ward and Burns back there either way. Those were your 2 leading tacklers against Florida State. Fouche just adds tremendous depth and experience there. And the other thing that Brian Kelly talked about of note was the plan at punt returner for the week after Malik Neighbors muffed a couple against Florida State.
I think we all know what we want to see, and that's, obviously fielding the ball cleanly. We thought we saw that, but, we've added some additional drills where, we have some distractions in front of the punter, obviously forcing him to get his eyes trained properly. So, Malik's going to stay back there and work some. We're not going to fire him from his duties. He's got to continue to work there. And we've added, obviously, Sage Ryan's been back there. He'll continue to work back there. And we've got a couple of young players that are going to get some work as well and see where that takes us through the week.
The really tough part about that right now is it's almost like the driving range analogy. I don't care if you hit them straight on the range. If you can't bring it to the course, that's all that really matters. We talk about that with field goal kickers. You can drill them all day long in practice, but once you get out there in a game situation under the lights, can you make them? And it's similar with a punt returner. I don't care how many punts you successfully fielded in practice. If you can't do it in the game, you can't play that position. You can't establish that role. You can't fill that role. And we've seen it before. This happened with Dante Jackson. It's why Tre'Davious White returned punts in 2016 and Dante Jackson returned kickoffs. Dante Jackson couldn't field punts consistently. And then in 2017, when Jackson still returned kickoffs, it was E.J. Chark who returned punts because they didn't trust Dante Jackson to catch the punt. So I love Malik Neighbors. I think he's magnificent and is going to have a fantastic year for LSU. And it sounds like they're going to give him another crack at returning punts in a game. And I love the fact that in the game, after he muffed the punt, they went right back to him and threw him the football to keep him engaged, which was very smart. Great play call by Mike Denbrock to get him engaged there and to go right back to him. But you can't let Malik Neighbors return punts. You cannot risk having him put another ball on the ground. You can't let him figure it out. You've got to put someone back there that's shorthanded. It sounds like they're going to give him another try, but if it were me, Malik Neighbors is not holding that job anymore. You had 2 cracks at it. You put them both on the ground. It's got to be somebody else. We'll see what they do this week against Southern. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, and ReliefWindows.com. It's windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. That's what you get at Relief Windows. And remember, I tell you about it all the time, but the siding won't crack or chip or peel. Comes finished in whatever color you want. It's fire-resistant, weather-resistant. It's going to last. You want to beautify the exterior of your home in about 2 weeks' time? Give Relief Windows a call. They'll knock it out for you. 288-8138 or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, it's after further review. The Saints have signed a quarterback, obviously a third quarterback to replace Ian Book. We'll get to that. And they've promoted a linebacker to the active roster. I don't like it. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt and Hill, The Early Line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance. This summer, visit your local Acura dealer.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, the Week 1 injury report, the first injury report, Week 1, has been published for the Saints and the Falcons. They'll play Sunday at noon. You go pull that up, Paulie, if you would. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Right there at the top of the list, Traquan Smith with a groin injury. The gift that keeps on giving. Why is he still on the roster? Did not practice, nor did Dwayne Washington. Paulson Adebo, that's the one we'll circle and come back to. Landon Young did not practice. Tanner Owen, who is the undrafted rookie free agent that they signed to the active roster after the first round of cuts, also did not practice, but that is non-injury related as it was designated. Michael Thomas, Eric McCoy, Pete Werner, JT Gray, all limited, but all practiced. Adebo is the interesting one because, of course, Paulson Adebo had the ankle injury. When he met with reporters, though, last week, he kind of smirked and smiled and hinted at the fact that he was going to be ready to go. But not practicing on a Wednesday is a little bit of an alarm. If he's not practicing on Thursday, then it's full-on sirens. So we will have to keep a close eye there on Paulson Adebo, because if Paulson Adebo is not ready to go, then that does change the whole dynamic of the week and the secondary for the Saints, and you're going to rely on young guys in a hurry. But if Adebo can't go, your boundary corners would be Lattimore and Bradley Roby. How they figured out everything else, Alontae Taylor would clearly factor in somehow, some way, in a big way, but you cross that bridge when you get there. But Paulson Adebo did not practice. You'd hope for him to be limited on Thursday. As far as the Falcons, only 3. Parker Hesse, who's a tight end, non-injury related. Darren Hall with the quad. And Drake London, the first-round draft pick, limited with the knee injury. That's held him out a bit. Arthur Smith, head coach of the Falcons, did give an update on Drake London.
Where's Drake at, London?
Progressing.
He didn't go on IR, so
he's progressing.
Check on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you anticipate having him available?
Yeah.
We'll see what it looks like.
He does not sound like he's happy or wanting to give any updates about Drake London. But that's a massive question mark for these Falcons, right? I mean, Russell Gage is now in Tampa. A year ago, obviously, you lost Julio Jones. You've got Kyle Pitts. You draft Drake London, but he's injured. Marcus Mariota, who's he going to throw the ball to? I mean, it's a very Calvin Ridley's out for the entire year because of gambling. I mean, it's a gigantic question. It's just a massive question for Atlanta. Who is Marcus Mariota going to throw the ball to in this ball game? The other thing, obviously, is how the Saints look under Dennis Allen. And Arthur Smith was asked that question when he met with the media.
Well, he'll have his own flavor, but he's done a terrific job the last couple of years defensively. They know who they are. They're a veteran team. They've got a terrific front, and they roll those guys in here, in there. I think they got one of the smartest middle linebackers in football, and they got pretty good corners. They've invested a lot in the defensive backfield, and they'll look a little bit different at safeties, but they'll be sound. I know that.
The smartest middle linebacker in football that he talked about was Demario Davis. Now, who lines up next to Demario Davis is clearly going to be one of the more interesting questions. We're all hoping that Pete Werner is 100% healthy and ready to go. He was limited on the practice report with that groin injury, and who backs him up? We know the list. It's Caden Ellis, who would likely be the next man in, and the other active linebackers are Andrew Dowell and Zach Bond. Zach Bond has been not good in his time in New Orleans, and Dowell has been primarily a special teams contributor, and when he's had to play linebacker, it's quite honestly not been good. The same goes for Chase Hansen, who was promoted to the active roster from the practice squad over Eric Wilson and Nafai Sewell. This was a little surprising to me. So they promoted Hansen. There was only 52 on the active. They promoted Hansen to make it 53 and then signed Jake Luton, the quarterback out of Oregon State, who's been in the league now, was a 6th-round pick back in 2020 of Jacksonville. He spent time in Jacksonville, Seattle, and Miami. I'll give you a thought on the quarterback in just a second, but I guess real quickly, I mean, this is just obvious what you're doing there with Jake Luton. I mean, he played in 3 games in the COVID year in 2020 with Jacksonville. He threw 2 touchdowns and 6 picks, completed just 54% of his passes. He's a practice arm is what he is. I mean, he's just a guy there to throw balls in practice. So your 2 primary quarterbacks don't need Tommy John by the middle of the season. So if it ever gets to a point that you would need a 3rd quarterback, it ain't going to be him. So you'd figure that out when you cross that bridge. But they signed Jake Luton to the practice squad. He'll be a guy that just throws passes in practice to make sure Jameis and Andy Dalton don't overuse their arms. The bigger thing here was promoting Hansen. And I think, in my opinion, again, the coaches, you trust their evaluation. But for me, it's more, I've seen Chase Hansen try to play linebacker in an actual NFL game, and it wasn't very good. In a Sunday game, not talking about preseason. And it's almost like the unknown of Sewell or the established Wilson feels like the better option. Remember, Sewell's a rookie who got first-team reps in that third preseason game and the week leading up to it. They were running him out there with the first team because I think they wanted to see how it looked with him lining up next to Demario Davis. And obviously didn't make the 53, but they signed him to the practice squad. And part of it is sort of that unknown is more intriguing whenever, if you haven't seen a guy do it yet, rather than having seen a guy try and not succeed. You almost go with the unknown because you know the other option is a no. And Hansen is a no. I don't want Hansen out there playing linebacker on a Sunday. Sewell could do it. The thing I'll remind you, too, about Sewell is, and this is Penei Sewell's younger brother, by the way, went to Utah. Nephi Sewell is a converted safety. What is the big question / concern issue with Zach Bond throughout his time in New Orleans? It's the fact that he can't cover. He was an edge rusher at Wisconsin, sort of outside linebacker rusher, but when they've asked him to drop in coverage, which is what you need for linebackers in this defense, something Demario Davis does exceptionally well, that's where Zach Bond has just been completely lost. Well, Sewell was a safety. He's a converted safety. He can cover. I would almost think he'd be better in that role. So I would almost rather just see you run Nephi Sewell out there to see if it would work as opposed to running someone out there that it can't work. And then Eric Wilson is the other one. And Eric Wilson is intriguing because that's a guy that we've also seen do it. We've seen Eric Wilson do it on football Sundays. He's a former, he's in his 6th year. He's played 5 years in the league. He's played in 78 games. He started 27 times. In 2020, the COVID year in Minnesota, he started 15 games, had 122 tackles, and 8 TFLs, 3 sacks. Like, he was a very productive inside backer that year in Minnesota in 2020. So, by the way, if you're looking for, okay, who replaces Quan Alexander, because that's what we're talking about. You know that Demario Davis is solidified, and you're trying to replace Quan. Now, Pete Werner's the guy, but if Pete Werner's injured, who's the backup there? Well, Quan has had one 100-tackle season in his career. That was back in 2016. Eric Wilson did it 2 years ago in 2020. Had 122 tackles. Younger player who, when given the opportunity to be a starter, was a very productive player in Minnesota. I'm not telling you that he's a better option than Pete Werner. What I'm telling you is, if you need an option after Pete Werner, he's better than Chase Hansen, Nephi Sewell, Zach Bond, Andrew Dowell. I'd be curious if you had to make Caden Ellis a full-time starter, what it would look like with Caden Ellis, because he's been good at times. But it's bizarre to me. I feel like you've got – the only thing this tells me is they're confident Pete Werner's going to play and that Caden Ellis is their number 3. But if you get to a point where you need a linebacker to play on the field, not a special teams option, because Hansen, we've seen, has been a good special teams player, but if you need another linebacker to go give you meaningful reps and snaps, the 2 guys that you passed on, I think, are better options than the guy you promoted. So, and certainly better than Zach Bond, who his time in New Orleans has just been a categorical failure for a 3rd-round pick, and what the expectations are, the fact that he just hasn't emerged is really, really troubling. Maybe this year 3 will be when he sort of hits his stride. I'm skeptical, to say the very least, but let's keep an eye on those other guys if it comes down to it. But the Saints have promoted Chase Hansen from the practice squad to the active roster, and they've signed quarterback Jake Luton there as to the practice squad as sort of the practice arm, as it were. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. We're going to go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro in 15 minutes for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Lance Moore, 30 minutes from right now. I'll get Lance's thoughts on Saints-Falcons Week 1 over in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue and go around the SEC here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, where Rouse's makes it convenient. Of course, Sunday is the first Saints game day, It's in Atlanta, so maybe you're going to have your game watch party. Rouse's makes it convenient for you to get everything that you need with your own personal shopper. Download the Rouse's app or go to rouses.com. You'll see the curbside delivery option there at the top. Select your items. Your personal shopper will go pick out your items for you. When you pull up, they'll bring it out to the car. Rouse's makes it easy. Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Everything you need to tailgate or for your game watch. If you want party platters or sandwich trays or anything to feed a tailgate or a crew at your house, they've got all of your beverages as well. Great whiskey selection. If you're looking for that, craft beer and all the domestics, they've got it at Rouse's. Go check out the hot and boiled kiosks if you want some grab-and-go seafood, sandwiches. It's awesome. It's Rouse's. Locations all over. Find the location at rouses.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like. Again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, glad you're with us here. We'll talk to Lance Moore in about 25 minutes from right now, and a little Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro in 10 minutes. So get your booze questions in. You can email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. The NFL season does kick off tomorrow night, and for the first time since 1991, the Buffalo Bills are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. That's right. Franchise is pursuing its first ever Super Bowl championship, but the Buffalo Bills at plus 600 are the betting favorite, followed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at plus 750. Defending champ Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs are at plus 1,100, followed by the Packers at plus 1,200, Chargers at plus 1,400, Niners and Broncos at plus 1,600. The Ravens are at plus 1,800. Dallas and the defending AFC champ Bengals at plus 2,000. Followed by the Colts and Eagles at plus 2,500. Still going. Haven't gotten to the Saints, by the way. Raiders at plus 3,000. Cardinals, Browns, Titans, Dolphins, plus 3,500. Then the Patriots, Saints, Vikings, all at plus 4,000. So I would submit that the Saints have tremendous value, present tremendous value at plus 4,000 to win the Super Bowl. You've got to get into the playoffs to have a shot, and I suspect the Saints are going to be a playoff team this year. Maybe, almost certainly, not having home field advantage, but the Saints would be an intriguing play. If you're wondering, the Bucs at plus 750 have a high volume of wagers, largely because Tom Brady, when he retired briefly, the Bucs dropped all the way to 40-1. So because their odds dropped so dramatically, people were wagering on the Bucs, assuming the possibility of Tom Brady coming back. So they drew a lot of money. Interestingly enough, the biggest liability for sportsbooks is the Raiders. Probably because you've got Las Vegas bettors who are playing the Raiders. But it's not just sharp money, or not just public money. It's also sharp money. The biggest liability in the season is the Raiders when you consider they added Chandler Jones, they added Devontae Adams. But in that division, boy, that's a tough one to come out of. But the Saints have the 20th best odds. 19 teams have better odds than the Saints. 8th in the NFC. 7 NFC teams have better odds than New Orleans. You want to go bet? You can do it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and NFL kickoff. Can you believe it? It is tomorrow. NFL kickoff is Thursday night. If you're going to be watching the game, you want to feel the excitement, DraftKings is letting you do it. An official sports betting partner of the NFL. Bet just $5 on Thursday's game and get $200 in free bets instantly from the DraftKings Sportsbook, but you got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code Baton Rouge, one word, Baton Rouge, bet just $5, no matter the result, bet just $5 on Thursday game and get $200 in free bets. And as an added bonus, everyone can experience the early win promotion. It's simple. Bet on Buffalo or LA to win. If your team leads by 7 at any point in the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. They're just kind of giving you money. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on Thursday Night Football. That's code Baton Rouge only at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football. Terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-877-770-STOP. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Needing to improve along the offensive line before they head to the Swamp. Kentucky is moving their most experienced lineman, Kenneth Horsey, from left guard to left tackle. That means David Wallabow goes to the bench. He drew his first career start at left tackle against Miami of Ohio and really struggled. That also means true freshman Keontae Goodwin, a blue-chip recruit. He's not going to play this week, or he's not going to be a start. They don't want his first career start to be at the Swamp. Horsey did play left tackle last year in the bowl game, replacing Dare Rosenthal, and really struggled. They're hopeful with a full week he'll do better.
The Florida Gators.
Sophomore quarterback Anthony Richardson was dynamic against Utah in the win. He's named the SEC Offensive Player of the Week. He's also been named as the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback of the Week. Against the Utes, 17-24 for 168 yards, ran 11 times for 106 and 3 scores. Richardson's Heisman odds have gone from plus 4,000 to plus 1,400 after the win.
The Auburn Tigers.
Brian Harsin made it no secret Auburn will play 2 quarterbacks against San Jose State. Harsin did say, though, the expectation that you may have is to see a 50-50 distribution, but that's not exactly how it's going to go. Against Mercer, TJ Finley started, commanded the offense for the majority of the first 7 drives. Harsin has used a 2-quarterback system before, did it in Texas and twice at Boise State.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
For the second day in a row, the Aggies have landed a big-time in-state prospect. Bravion Rogers rejoined the class on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, longtime A&M target TJ Shanahan, an offensive lineman out of Austin, committed to the Aggies over Texas, Georgia, LSU, and USC. Shanahan is the number 150 overall prospect nationally, the 6th best interior offensive lineman.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Linebacker out of Georgia, Skylar Mann, has committed to Ole Miss. He's the commit number 11 for Lane Kiffin in the class of 2023. 6'2", 205-pounder. Picked Ole Miss over Florida State and Georgia Tech, among others. He is the 89th best linebacker in the country.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Bama will be in Austin this weekend, but the $1 Million Band will not travel with the Tide due to location and configuration of the visiting institution's ticket allotment. LSU fans know this well. The 5,000 tickets that Alabama was allotted for this game are all in the upper deck, including the band. So Alabama said, we're not going to send our band and put them up in the upper deck. So a little of the pageantry won't be there at Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium in Austin this weekend. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. 45 years in business, an official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers now for the last 20 seasons. If you need office equipment, you need Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales service after the sale. That's what they get you at Gulf Coast Office Products. Online at gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, y'all, we'll knock out our final break here of hour number 1. We're presented by Pluckers. When we come back, Taylor Calandro will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. You know the drill. If you got booze questions, get them in. You can email us, tweet us, text us in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get your questions in. Do it. Your booze questions for Taylor Calandro next.
AFR.
Fired up to tell you later this week they are expecting at Clegg's to have a full display of all of their fall decor, including pumpkins and gourds and hay bales and squash and all of the good stuff that people love to decorate their home, to make it ornate around the fall season. Of course, it's an awesome time of year with football in the air. What a time to get by Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siega near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every single day to get by Clegg's. And if you're a hunter, remember, they got everything you need for those plots. If it's the Mobucks, the Buckbusters, Deer Corn, Rice Brand, I don't use any of it, but those of you who hunt, you know it well, and I always encourage you to support great local businesses that have been in our communities for so long, like Clegg's, which has been around for more than 60 years. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you into Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Glad you're with us. Lance Moore in about 15 minutes from right now. But right now, Taylor Calandro joins us to answer your booze questions for Bourbon Dictionary. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. What's up?
Another day. What's new over there?
Oh, nothing really crazy new this week. We did get some Old Carter bourbon earlier this week, but we have since sold through it. We're still rolling through a lot of barrel picks right now, and we're coming to the end of our Blue Note Juke Joint pick, too. So if you haven't gotten that one, it's almost gone.
It's interesting you mentioned Old Carter. So tonight, T-Bob and I will be over at Oliver Twist for Scone and Tea, which we do every Wednesday. And the guys over at Oliver Twist always offer up a break-even bottle where it'll be a really rare allocated whiskey that they'll do at a break-even price. So today is a Old Carter Batch 11 for just $12 a pour. What can you tell us about it?
Oh, my God, that's criminally low.
That's the point.
Those guys are weird over there, man.
Well, that's the point. They always it's the incentive to come during the show.
I'm joking. I know what the whole point is. It's a great price. Man, I've tried a couple Old Carters. I haven't tried that one in particular. That's one of the most recent batches they released. But everything I've had from them is very good. And for $12 a pour, that's tough to beat because it's a $200 retail bottle. And at a bar, you're not going to find it for cheaper than $30 or $40 a shot.
If you want to get your questions in for Taylor, do it. You can email us, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
You can jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat and watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Or you can text your questions in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get your questions in. Let's start with Jamie Perk, who said, "Hey, ask Taylor, I got a beer question. What's your thoughts on Rally Cap? Had one, and it was great."
Dude, so I was talking to somebody about Rally Cap today. That we're about to get a new Rally Cap tomorrow called Ephesus. You remember the Pedro Martinez pitch? Was it Pedro Martinez or Willie Colon for the Ephesus?
I don't
remember. A little
remember.
40-mile-an-hour lob.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
they got that coming out. But man, Rally Cap has been one of the most surprising local breweries that we've had here in the last few years. I wasn't expecting much being a team baseball brewery. The liquid has been excellent for the most part of everything I've tried. They make really good IPAs and good sours. I love Rally Cap. Just try all their stuff. They have a lot of stuff floating around. They keep it fresh, too, so try it.
Hey, real quick, you do sound kind of hollow. Do you have us on headphones? You're like in a bathroom or something. It's just really hard to hear you a little bit.
I am on my AirPods.
Oh, yes. Take out your AirPods. Yes. Please always have us on. If you don't mind, just grab the handset real quick and let me know when you do that.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Much, much better. Okay.
I'm very hoarse, too, by the way.
That's all good, man. It happens. I
did my part Sunday night, just to let everybody know.
Yeah, it didn't go too well. Sorry about that. Yeah. Did you have a good time, though?
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a good time, but the game, luckily we got out of there before we scored the last touchdown. So.
So you beat the crowd.
Beat the crowd out. A mass exodus when we muffed the second punt.
You beat the crowd, and you didn't have the heartbreak of watching the blocked PAT. So I guess both.
Well, I saw the touchdown in a cab on Poydras from walk-ons, actually.
Okay.
Just kept rolling. Thank God we left.
Well, as long as you were staying there, it's all fine. Here's one from Wiggins who said, Bourbon Dictionary, besides corn, wheat, and rye, what other mashes have you had that you really enjoy?
Corn, wheat, and rye is not necessarily a mash, Wiggins. He's asking, that's ingredients of a mash. I love sour mash stuff. Sour mash is basically redistilled mash that they've used previously, so I'll go with that.
Adam Berthelot, has Calandro's ever done a Stellum barrel pick, or do you plan to?
We have not done a Stellum barrel pick, and I don't know if we necessarily have plans to do one. But we have done barrel bourbon picks, which is Stellum.
Let's see. Scott Pataro said, ask Taylor if he's ever had the off-the-rails experiment rye tiers from Junction 35 in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Who? No, never heard of. Man, we get a lot of questions about little tiny whiskey distilleries. It's crazy. I learn of new distilleries almost every time on the show.
There's so many that have popped up, and a lot of it is obviously sourced juice. So I mean, it's impossible to know all of them.
Right. And the reason they are popping up is because of that source liquid. And I'm not saying that distillery is sourcing liquid, but source liquid is a reason it's very cost effective for people to go in the whiskey business if they want to.
Gerald Mathern asked Taylor, grabbed a Penelope Toasted on Friday. I enjoyed it. What picks are coming up?
Picks coming up. We should have a Knob Creek. Oh, no, we've got a Knob Creek right now. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head in the next few weeks. But we do have a few coming down the pipe, though.
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, does your father have a recommendation on what whiskey to drink when you're staring a third straight season of 500 or less football?
My father.
Well, I mean, I don't think that you would remember LSU in their string of 6 straight losing seasons from 89 to 94.
All my life is Curly Hallman from my dad. That's all he talks about is Curly Hallman.
Well, that's the point. You don't remember it, so they say,
I don't.
What do you do?
I'm 33 years old. I don't remember, but I mean, I kind of remember Jerry DiNardo. So, look, I get a high proof whiskey to go with that, and the season's going to get better. I think. We're just getting the cobwebs out. People's expectations are crazy. We're rebuilding right now. So,
yeah. My expectations were not crazy, which is why I was not really completely beside myself on Sunday night. Hey, before you go, I do like Rally Cap, but on Friday, Tin Roof is releasing Badger Juice, which was the idea originated from a listener of this show. It's a honey IPA celebrating the Honey Badger and Juice joining the Saints.
That sounds great. I wonder if it's going to be in distribution. I need to get in touch with it.
It's only going to be at the brewery, so it'll be available on tap or in the cans there.
Go check out the brewery. tonight. They do yoga. Teneroof's got a cool brewery. It doesn't get a lot of love, but they got a cool brewery. They always got stuff going on over there.
They do. He is Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. We always appreciate you, man. We'll talk next week.
All right, Matt, thanks.
All right, thank you. That is Taylor Calandro. This is After Further Review. Lance Moore, former Saint. He's coming up right after the top of the hour. Stay with us. SportsCenter is coming up to get you caught up on national headlines.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. That's where you can find the Williamson Eye Center online. I tell you every day, eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. If you need the eye exam for you personally or for the whole family, 7 locations across the greater Baton Rouge area from, of course, Baton Rouge, Denham, Gonzales, Zachary, New Roads, the newest in the river parishes down in Lutcher. Eyewear. If you need glasses or contacts, they can help you with that, certainly, at their optical shop. And remember, eye surgery. If you are thinking about a refractive procedure, if you're thinking, I'd love to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, ditch them forever, like I did about 4 years ago, the Williamson Eye Center can help. 924-2020, 924-2020. Let Dr. Blake Williamson give you that consult and let you know what the solution is for you. Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shop a style.
Oh, yeah! This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking NFL news. 49ers tight end George Kittle not practicing today because of a groin injury. His status for Sunday's season opener in Chicago is uncertain. Quarterback Zach Wilson out at least the first 3 games of the Jets season as he continues to recover from knee surgery. Joe Flacco starts in his absence. The Bills begin the 2022 season as the outright betting Super Bowl favorite for the first time in 31 years, listed at plus 600 at Caesars Sportsbook. The next best odds belong to the Buccaneers. Never a mistake to bet on Tom Brady to win another ring, believes ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
They're going to get better. They're going to get back Ryan Jensen at some point. They're going to get back Godwin, and I still think they're going to get back Gronk. So I think this team has a good foundation, and when it's all said and done, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. And, you know, as you point out many times on Get Up, Greeny, he led the NFL in passing last year.
Mike Tannenbaum on Greeny. Francis Tiafoe today became the first American man to reach the U.S. Open semi since 2006, following his straight sets win over Andre Rublev. Las Vegas Aces forward Asia Wilson, WNBA MVP.
Summer Bonanza means more business in the fall months. Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We're going to head to Atlanta in 1 hour. Our buddy Mark Zinno does radio there in Atlanta, is going to join us, give us a look at the Falcons. But let's take a look at home first. Former Saint great Lance Moore, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. You can find him on WDSU television as well. He's on Twitter at LanceMoore16. Lance, we always appreciate you, man. How are you?
Doing well, fellas. Trying to stay cool out here in this 90-plus degree Southern California weather. Feels like I'm right back in Louisiana right now.
Hey, how much back and forth do you do with Louisiana and SoCal?
Not a ton. I travel to a few primetime games a year, obviously working with WDSU, and then I usually try to get out there at least for one game, if not with the whole family, at least, you know, my wife and I. So not a ton. But, you know, when I get back, it always feels like I never left, and I miss it when I'm not there. So the love and the affinity for the place is still there for sure, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Love to hear it, man. Stay hydrated out there. Hey, we saw today at practice Michael Thomas was there. He was limited on the injury report, but he's there, and I think we all expect he's going to play. I'm gonna start with a very broad question that I hope, because of your experience, you can answer in a very specific manner. How does having Michael Thomas back affect the offense?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we're talking about a guy that was, you know, a few years removed from being the offensive player of the year in the National Football League. This isn't some slouch that's coming back. This isn't just the run-of-the-mill starter that's coming back. This is a big-time impact player, not only for what he's able to do personally as far as stacking up the big numbers and making big plays out there, but what he's now going to be able to do as far as opening everything else up around him. Not trying to throw shade at the receivers that we've had the last 2 years, but I think the group now from top to bottom is a lot better than what we've had in a long time. So having Mike T out there, obviously it does great things for Jameis as far as having a big-time playmaker out there, but it also makes defenses have to account for him in a manner that they do for big-time receivers. It's not always as easy as, hey, our best corner is going to guard your best receiver. I mean, some guys like to do that defensively, but not a lot of teams have that true shutdown corner that can just take a single player out of the game. So with that being said, I don't believe Atlanta is a team that has a guy. Now, they have a couple good players, a couple good corners, but they don't have a guy that I think they could say, hey, take this guy out of the game. So with that, there's got to be help coming from somewhere, whether it's a safety or another corner or a linebacker that's running underneath, or even a defensive lineman that's getting out. So that allows other guys to be less focused on defensively and allows things to open up more offensively for us and makes things easier for a play caller like Pete Carmichael to be able to do his job. Add to that the fact that if they're spending more time worried about what Mike T is doing on the outside, Alvin and Mark and the running backs, even throw Taysom in there, those guys should be able to have a lot of room up front to be able to get those yards.
Lynch, you may have just answered it, but if I could, after the game, I could look at the box score and see Michael Thomas's receptions, yardage, all that sort of stuff, and know his impact. But what other player might most be impacted by Michael Thomas being on the field Sunday?
Well, I think it's Jarvis Landry. He's a guy that's going to be playing, I would say, primarily in the slot against a defense that I don't think is going to be very good. He's going to benefit tremendously. But to go back to what you just said, I mean, who's going to benefit the most? I think the team is going to benefit the most from having him out there. And going beyond what you said about the box score, I don't think it matters what his stat line is for this game. I think what matters most is that he is able to play and get out of it healthy and make that something to build on for the rest of the season. I'm not saying that it's okay if he goes out there and he doesn't touch the ball. I mean, he's one of the tops in the game, and I think we'll be reminded of that. He's got to touch the ball some, but I don't think it's a situation where we need to force feed the guy the ball. He's got to have 10, 12, 15 touches in this game for us to be successful. I don't think that's the case. I think it's more important that he's out there and he's healthy.
He's on Twitter at LanceMoore16. Lance, I always love your perspective, and you kind of have a perspective that's rare in that you were on the team the last time there was a coaching change from 05 to 06 when Sean Payton came in. So you were there in that uprooting culture change when Sean Payton came in that we've heard so much about. And they worked so hard to maintain for 15 years, Lance. Are you in any way concerned, or what might we expect with a coaching change from Sean Payton to Dennis Allen? What sort of expectation do you have there?
Well, I don't expect a whole lot to change, honestly. I think the two situations that we're talking about are apples to oranges situations. I mean, a hurricane-displaced team that stunk, and obviously it was writing on the wall throughout the season that Haz was going to get fired. So he gets fired and Sean comes in. Obviously there's going to be a big time culture change. Obviously there's going to be a lot of new faces, not just in the locker room, but all around the organization. A lot of new people, and just trying to right the ship, for lack of a better phrase, to try to get things going in the right direction, as opposed to what we dealt with throughout the entirety of the 2005 season. Dennis Allen stepping into this role, not only is he a guy that's, been around this organization for a long time, but he's familiar with the ins and outs of the entire organization. He knows all the people that he's working with on a day-to-day basis from top to the bottom. And I believe that when you've got something that's established in such a way that winning is the culture, I don't think you uproot that to try to establish something that's completely different. Now, I do think there's going to be certain things that are different about what DA does, that are different from Sean. And I think the coaches that have the most success are the coaches that do things their way. Kind of to go off topic, but if you look at the disciples of a Bill Belichick, they have struggled, and a lot of them have struggled because they've tried to emulate what Bill has been able to build over the length of his entire career. And it's hard to be successful when you're trying to be like somebody else. I think players see through that, coaches see through that, and the organization and people around kind of see through that. Like, is this guy really being authentic? I think DA understands that. And the really good part about what's going on with him is that this is his second go-round. This isn't his first time as a head coach. He's not a newbie to this thing. Now, he didn't have great success when he went to coach the Raiders, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that this is a playoff-ready roster that he's kind of inherited, as opposed to a team that stunk and then he became the head coach, which, usually means the team didn't win a whole lot of games, which means they didn't have a playoff-ready roster. So there's a lot of differences with this situation to his prior situation. And I think that people will be pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'll kind of put a button on it, but that's really my thinking of him as far as being the head coach and this team in general.
Lance, I got two more for you. One, what's your expectation for Jameis Winston?
I think Jameis is going to continue to build on what he started to do last season. I think being in this Saints offense, I was getting ready to call it the Sean Payton offense, but now it's the Saints offense. This Pete Carmichael offense, being able to sit down for a year and watch and learn under Drew Brees and the coaching staff, as far as not necessarily taking away some of his aggressiveness, but kind of understanding better when to use it and when not to use it. And I really do expect him to still push the ball down the field. I mean, that's one of the greatest parts of his game is that he's got the arm to do or to make all of the throws. So I think that we're going to continue to see that. But I think we'll see great decision-making from him this season. Every now and again, there's going to be something that happens in the game, and people are going to be like, whoa, why did he do that? And all of the talking heads are going to be like, well, Jameis Winston, the old Jameis Winston is back. And I'm not going to be one of those people. I think he's going to continue to grow in this offense and command this offense. And really, I think we're going to see a pretty explosive offense, one that we have not seen the last several years.
You have a key for Saints Falcons on Sunday. Saints are a 5.5-point favorite. I like them. I'm sure most people do on Sundays. Is there something that you'd like to see a key for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's several keys, obviously, and there's really several keys that you can take into every single football game that are very, very general and vague, but I think they apply here. I mean, the first and foremost is to win the turnover battle. And usually on WDSU, they just ask me offense. I don't really get a chance to talk about the defense. But if we take care of the football and we create some turnovers on defense, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it be a 2 or 3 score game. And that's just looking from the outside view. Really haven't put in a ton of time on the Falcons quite yet. Obviously, I need to dive in here in the next couple of days, but I just think that this is one of those games where if we don't turn the ball over, we win the game. If we don't turn it over and we turn them over a couple of times, then we win by a couple of scores. And then from there, I'd love for us to win the rushing battle. So establishing the line of scrimmage on offense and obviously limiting their running attack on defense, because obviously when you're running the ball effectively, it opens everything up and makes things easier around you. And then as far as the passing game goes, I say we have to win the big play battle. We know they've got a guy over there in Kyle Pitts that is just as dangerous a weapon as anybody in the National Football League. So if we can kind of limit the damage that he's able to do, I think Drake London's going to be a good young player, but I'm not too scared of him going into this game really at all, because I think our secondary is one of the best in the National Football League and doesn't get nearly enough credit. But soon we will as we start playing these games here coming up this week.
He is Lance Moore, former St. Grade. He's on Twitter at LanceMoore16. Look for him on WDSU television. Always good to spend a couple of minutes. Lance, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and enjoy the start of the season.
We're all fired up for it, man. That's the great Lance Moore. Join us for a couple of minutes here on AFR. I want to get the Saints' perspective. We appreciate Lance for doing the honors. Mark Zinno from 92.9 in Atlanta is going to be with us in about 45 minutes to start hour number 3. We'll take a closer look, a sort of deeper dive into these Falcons as we get closer to week 1, the opener noon Sunday in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Leonard Fournette, did you know he almost transferred out of LSU? You'll hear that story next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Pluckers. Hump Day, every Hump Day brought to you by Pluckers, either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV every Wednesday, trivia. 7:30 at the Bluebonnet location, 8 o'clock at the Nicholson location. Tonight is Jeopardy trivia. So get your team together, go test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards. Every team, whether you win a round or not, every team gets to spin the prize wheel. So every team will win something regardless at Pluckers. And, of course, there's always great specials. Like every Wednesday, happy hour prices on all Mother Plucker mugs. All Mother Plucker mugs. It's 34 ounces of golden goodness. Happy hour all day on Wednesday at Pluckers. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis, but I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother, and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Thanks to Lance Moore for being with us. Remember, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand is presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. We've talked about it a lot. I love the pivot. If you've been here before, we've talked about it. It is many of the episodes are must watch. I think Ryan Clark, who you all know is a friend and personally and a friend of the show, I think they all have done a fantastic job with the pivot. They do a really, really great job of disarming their guests, making them feel comfortable, so you get a level of honesty and access that you really don't normally get in interviews like this at times. But Leonard Fournette was with the guys on the most recent episode, which dropped on Tuesday. You can watch it on their YouTube channel, or of course you can listen however you listen to podcasts. But one of the things Fournette talked about, which was very interesting, a story that I've never heard before, was Leonard told the story about how he almost transferred out of LSU. Give a listen.
It wasn't pressure in high school. When I got to college, that's when it became pressure, right? So I think only 3 people know this: me, my dad, Frank Wilson. So we play Wisconsin. So I come in, I'm like, man, I'm about to do my thing. Like I'm thinking it's like high school. So I come in there, 6 carries, 20 yards. The first time in my life anyone ever called me a bum on the internet. You know how the internet is, because our generation is when the internet was really like popping. Yeah. And everybody had a voice on us. So when I came back, I'm telling Coach Frank, man, look, I'm about to transfer.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I'm about to transfer. He was like, and Coach Frank played a big role in. Until this day, I got my father, but Coach Frank is like my second father too. Like he played a big role.
For people that don't know, Frank Wilson, historically legendary running backs coach at LSU, one of the best recruiters in the country, was the head coach at McNeese, now back at LSU. Yeah. So just so they have that reference.
Yeah. And he was like, man, Button is my nickname, and your time gonna come. But you see guys like Nick Chubb. I'm like Nick as a freshman, Nick Chubb, 1,400 yards or something. I'm like, man, I know I'm way better than Nick. But that was my motivation. Like I had to watch him and understand like it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? The game was too fast for me. Coming into high school, you had to pick up no blitz. You had to worry about if the safety come down, the cat might come, like all that. So I was still learning, and grace of God, my coach and my family, I stayed and I prospered.
It was very eye-opening to hear him say that he considered a transfer. I don't know to what degree he actually considered that, but I do remember Leonard Fournette's first game in Houston against Wisconsin. Actually, the opening kickoff of the game, he was back deep, and they kicked it away from him. And he ran clear across to the other side of the end zone to take the kickoff away from, I believe it was Terrence McGee. I think it was Fournette and McGee who were back deep, and Fournette wanted the ball. I mean, it was his opportunity after such a hyped recruitment from the time he was in the 8th grade when he was offered as a 9th grader by Les Miles and his staff when he was a 9th grader and playing varsity at St. Aug. But he went through a lot of that growing up, having such a dominant and heralded youth career. His time at LSU, he talked about going to Jacksonville, talked about being cut in Jacksonville, talked about his relationship with Tom Brady, knowing that Tom Brady was coming back. Actually, an interesting story. Leonard Fournette was on a free agent visit in New England, and Tom Brady called him in New England and said, "Get out of there, I'm coming back." I mean, it's pretty fascinating, the stuff that they get out of these guys on the show. But Fournette, I thought, was a very intriguing guest. They also talked about Cam Cameron. Keep in mind, Channing Crowder, one of the co-hosts, played for the Miami Dolphins. He was drafted by Nick Saban and played for Cam Cameron in their 1-15 year, Cam's lone season as the head coach of the Dolphins. So the guys talked about Cam Cameron a little bit as well.
And every time we get around a cool coach, Channing get mad. Tell him why you get mad, Channing.
I played for Cam Cameron. 07, 1-15, yelling goofy shit all the time, throwing keys against the wall.
What Cam Cameron? Cam Cameron?
Our Cam Cameron. One that y'all had to fire to go win. I know the story.
Well, listen. What team that was you with?
I was 07 Dolphins after Saban left.
So he told me a story when I was in college, right? It's when he was with the Chargers. He was like, Leonard, because we was a power wide school to that. He said, man, I ran power wide 14 times in a game, an NFL game. I said, damn. I thought he was lying. Got to the NFL, asked a couple of guys who he coached. They ran it 14 times.
That bitch had LT. Yeah, I'm putting the ball in LT, and that man, 26 touchdowns that year? Yeah, it wasn't Cam making no great plays, though. It was LT, bop, bop, bop.
I'm not gonna let you do that to Cam, though. I actually really like Cam.
I love Coach Cam.
Like Cam, Coach great cool people, as hell,
great man. People and good at your job is two different things. I know some great people that ain't shit. Let's be honest. Yeah, man, no, man. Wasted a year of my career. Hey, 1 in 15.
It's a pretty great illustration. They all love him, but great people, good at your job, very different things. That certainly is an illustration to Cam Cameron there. Go check out the pivot if you didn't. The other thing that I really wanted to focus on, which I think is actually relevant now, is something that Leonard talked about. I'm going to get to that here in just a second. I do want to remind you about GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. It's GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Locations all over Louisiana. Our state's largest local lender. If you're buying, building, refinancing, maybe cash out refi where you take some of your home's equity, use that to do that home improvement project, GMFS Mortgage has all of those options. Get in touch with a local loan officer near you at GMFSmortgage.com. That's GMFSmortgage.com. On the first bite we played of Leonard Fournette, you heard Ryan Clark sort of interrupt and interject. And it's when he was talking about Frank Wilson. Can you grab that part where Ryan Clark jumped in? Because you heard Leonard sort of very reverently talking about Coach Frank. It's like, I got a dad, but Coach Frank is like my second father to me. And he talked about, Coach Frank. It was a huge reason why I was at LSU. Coach Frank. You heard it over and over again. And then RC interjected and said this about the clarification about Frank Wilson.
People that don't know, Frank Wilson, historically legendary running backs coach at LSU, one of the best recruiters in the country, was the head coach at McNeese, now back at LSU. Yeah. So just so they have that reference.
Yeah. So understand, y'all. Right now, I'm looking at the YouTube right now. There's 250,000 views on YouTube on Fournette already. It's in one day. 250,000 views in one day. There will be millions of people that watch this video. Not only that, but the shorter clip of that, I posted it, which has, I think 12,000 views already on various platforms, maybe even more than that. Actually, I'll tell you right now, because I posted it on TikTok as well, and TikTok always pops off. Hang on. It's at the TikTok alone, which I posted today, is already at 10,000 views. Twitter is over 10,000 views. So, point is, tens, hundreds of thousands, millions of people conceivably are going to see that clip of one of the greatest running backs in the NFL, a Super Bowl champion, playoff Lenny, and Ryan Clark and all these guys talking about Coach Frank. And it's the thing that when I get asked over and over and over and over again about Brian Kelly and the fit at LSU, I say, hey, stop it. The thing that Brian Kelly did that was the most self-aware was hire a staff that understands this state. And none more important than Frank Wilson. And that's evidence of it. You probably understand this just by nature of the fact that you're listening to this show. You're probably an LSU fan. You know who Frank Wilson is. But understand, a lot of people who are not LSU fans are going to watch that. A lot of young athletes are going to watch that. A lot of people are going to understand when they watch that who Frank Wilson is, why he's so important. Oh, and he's the LSU running backs coach now? Yeah. That's why it was so important for Brian Kelly to bring on Frank Wilson and to bring on Cortez Hankton and to retain Brad Davis and to hire Joe Sloan, guys that know the state, that can recruit the state, and it's already paying dividends. Look at the success they've had for the class of 2023 recruiting Louisiana, and it's going to continue because of guys like Frank Wilson. That's why LSU was willing to pay him nearly $1 million to come be the running backs coach, because he's that important to the future success of this program. Go look at the number of people coach it. I tweeted that clip. Look at the number of coaches, support staff member, recruits who are going to retweet or share or comment about Coach Frank on that post that I made. They know. The ones that need to know. And it was a huge, huge selling point. It was this huge, an unintentionally huge sales pitch for LSU football with what happened on the pivot on that episode that dropped yesterday. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Always love telling you about Schutz Electric, CESofLA.com, CESofLA.com for Schutz Electric. Home standby generators, power goes out, my Generac from Schutz Electric goes to work. I'll never be stuck in the dark again. I'll never worry about my AC not working again. I'll never worry about not having ice or needing gas or any of that stuff during a power outage ever again. When the power goes out, our home standby generator from Schutz Electric powers on and powers the entire house. And you may be saying, that sounds great, Matt, but I can't afford it. I'm here to tell you, more affordable than I thought. As technology has improved, prices have come down. That's number one. And number two, financing is available. They will work with you to get you the best option for you and your home and your family. Schutz Electric, and the customer service experience was outstanding. CESofLA.com. CESofLA.com. Get that home standby generator. Never get stuck in the dark again. It's Schutz Electric. All right, y'all. Glad to have you aboard with us. We're halfway home on a hump day. We're heading to Atlanta in 30 minutes. We'll chat with Mark Zinno, who does radio there at 92.9 in Atlanta. Preview the Falcons from the other side of the field. We'll get some bowl projections next hour as well. Michael Thomas practiced today with the Saints, which is great news. When we come back, we'll do some overrated, underrated. Glad you're with us on a hump day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Congratulations to Cordero Clay of Baton Rouge. Cordero is our Week 1 winner in the 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em Contest and wins a $50 gift card from Twin Peaks. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 2 by 5 p.m. on Thursday. Play the 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
Sure, T-Bob and I will give out some picks for Week 2 around college football tonight on Scone and T. Come out to Oliver Twist, 7 o'clock there on Perkins. If you can't join us on site, watch us on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or the 1045 ESPN Facebook page. If you're watching on YouTube right now, however you're watching right now, you can watch us tonight starting at 7 o'clock. Do us a solid, smash that like button if you haven't done so yet, and subscribe up to the YouTube channel. That's where all of our shows are live. Our daily lineup, Scone and Tea, Eagle 98.1 Game Day, Whiskey and Wine. It's all right here on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. All right. We will do a bit later some Pluckers trivia. Of course, Trivia Night of Pluckers. That's become customary in hour number 3. We're supposed to have Russ Mitchell. It is a Wednesday. Of course, last week Russ picked LSU 4-8, and a lot of you were anticipating having Russ. But I got a text this morning, and it was it arrived on my cell phone at 4:07 a.m. Central Time. It said, I don't like the new on-demand audio. It's not as easy as the old one. Followed by another tweet that said, I am 9 hours ahead of you in Rome, so we either tape or skip until next week. So Russ Mitchell, who was in Cancun last week.
Cabo last week.
He was in Cabo last week, is in Rome today. He's just jet-setting all over the world right now here at the start of college football season. Tried to touch base with him so we could record the segment for today. And at 2:52, Muse and I were standing in the hall, and I got a text. At 2:52, we're 8 minutes till showtime. We were standing in the hall waiting for Hunt and Hill to end, and we walk in, and I got a text from Russ because I had replied several times, like, hey, I want to tape. Where we go? When are you good? Can we do it? Whatever. Never got a reply. He said, sorry, had a chance to meet the Pope. I've been offline. Is he the most interesting man in the world? He's in Cabo 1 week. He's in Rome meeting the Pope. He's got LSU going 4-8. He just might be right, although he's not going to be right. I did try to bet him. I tried to bet him, and he said they're absolutely going to win more than 4 games. He said, that said, I wouldn't feel good if I was sitting on 7. So, no Russ today.
What do you think that conversation was like between Russ and the Pope?
It's football!
I mean, to be a fly on the wall there.
Oh, man.
Russ and the Pontiff.
He is the most interesting man in the world. He is on the short list anyway. All right, Muse, let's do some overrated, underrated. Trampolines properly rated. There's a reason you've seen trampolines start to go out of style more and more because they're very dangerous. I can't believe when we were kids, trampolines did not have the netting. We have a trampoline at our house, by the way. Drew doesn't really jump, but he'll kind of crawl and bounce on his knees on it. And it has the netting around it. I cannot believe, like, we used to spray a hose on the trampoline with with soap.
Yeah.
Like, car wash soap to get the suds, so it would make it more slick, so we would fall and leap off. Like, it's amazing we didn't die. not to be joking, but like in a very literal sense. I mean, when you jump 10, 15 feet in the air, and if you jump off of a trampoline, I mean, you could break bones, you could land awkwardly and have serious injury. So thankfully, we did not. Trampolines, I would say, properly rated because they have certainly lowered or reduced in popularity, and they're expensive too. So yeah.
Overrated or underrated? Scented candles.
Scented candles are horrendously overrated, and I would like to share with you 2 reasons why. Number one,
please.
I'm sorry.
I said please.
One is pricing. To make the scented wax, a candle probably costs less than $1 to make. The most expensive part of the candle likely is the glass encasement of the candle, or whatever material that you may have. So number one, horribly overpriced. Great margins though if you're running the business. 2, today, honest to goodness true story, River City's 1 Hour Air came out to my house today. We had our AC tune-up, and technician Patrick did a great job, by the way. I'm sitting in my office while he was in the attic, and he comes into my office and he goes, "You burn candles in this house?" I go, "My wife does all the time." He does this. He holds up his hand. His fingers are black. He goes, "This is the soot in your unit from the candles, and this is what you're breathing in all the time." So not only is it unsafe and horribly overpriced, it's also costing you by damaging your AC unit. So scented candles, long way of answering the question, horribly overrated. I say we ban them. But my wife lights candles all the time, and one day she'll probably burn down my house. And if she does, this is standing and she understands it. If Erica burns down our house, I'm going to leave her. If she burns down my house, we are getting a divorce. She has been warned.
That worked out well. That was just random that I had scented candles on there today. How about that? Overrated or underrated? Pat White.
Pat White?
Quarterback.
From West Virginia?
Yeah.
Pat White?
Backyard brawl last Thursday got me thinking, man.
You know, man. Could have been a hero, man. They blew it. They blew it in 07.
I for one, am glad that they did, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the answer to this question is so different if they could have won that game. So, Pat White, properly rated.
Overrated or underrated? Salami.
Salami's underrated. It's a wonderful Italian deli meat. I think most people that don't eat salami don't because they either don't like the way salami sounds, they are used to pepperoni, obviously because it's just the most common pizza topping. But salami is an underappreciated deli meat. Salami, delicious, whether on a sandwich or just if you want to have a slice of salami. It's wonderful. It's a great Italian deli meat. Salami, underrated, very underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo, properly rated. Well, actually, let me ask you this. I think Leo's gotten his due. Has he won an Oscar?
Yeah.
I mean, you said, yeah, like you're sure of
well,
it.
yeah, because that was like the thing. Like he didn't for a long time, and then he finally did.
got one?
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street, maybe? What did he win it for?
Including an Academy Award. And I'm trying to figure out what it's for. Hold on.
Well,
he definitely did.
He has been, I'll tell you why Leo is, I think he's gotten his just due, which is why we call him properly rated. If not, I would say underrated. He is the rare child actor who became massively successful throughout his career, has maintained longevity. He has been a dramatic actor. He has been a comedic actor. He's done just about everything you can do and done it massively successfully. When you can cross over into different genres and still execute at an extremely high level, that's when you are truly elite. He is.
He won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2016 for his role as Hugh Glass in The Revenant.
Never saw The Revenant.
Me either.
But congrats to it.
That's his Academy Award.
Congrats. Leo. And then Austin Powers, Dr. Evil goes, Leo, to Mini-Me. He got a shout out in Austin Powers.
There you go. It's not necessarily a cameo, but a shout out. Kind of the same thing.
Yes.
That's overrated or underrated.
All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Love telling you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. 29 offices across 11 different states. It is Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Check them out online at Michelli.com if you're looking for a new career here in 2022 or just looking to change jobs to work for a company that's stable, that's been around for 75 years, that's going to value you the way they valued their people for 8 decades. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Go to Michelli.com, hit the careers tab right at the top of the page. You'll see all the different jobs that they have available right now. Baton Rouge, the New Orleans office, Lake Charles. Apply now at Michelli.com. Remember, Michelli is your partner for weighing and measurement equipment since 1947, servicing all scale and measurement equipment makes and models. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. Learn more about all the services that they offer at Michelli.com, Michelli.com. All right, it is after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. We're heading to Atlanta in about 14 minutes from right now. We'll talk to Mark Zinno, preview the Atlanta Falcons, get a look at the Atlanta Falcons here as week 1 is upon us. Tomorrow on the show, we did this a year ago. We'll do it again. Tomorrow we'll give you each division winner in the NFL. We will give you our AFC, NFC championship picks and our Super Bowl pick. All of us will here, and then we'll circle back at the end of the year and see how we did. That's coming up tomorrow on AFR. We'll look for you then. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 2. Muso will have Tigers and the pros next. Stay here.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. They close at 4:30, so a little late to dial them right now, although you could dial them and leave a message, or you could log on to the website, lainsurance.net. Really easy. If you go to the website, hit the quotes tab right at the top of the page, fill out some information, and when they get in tomorrow, they'll get started shopping to find you better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450. They're on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. So if you're on the interstate, you exit Bluebonnet, you're heading toward Jefferson, they're on the left. You can't see it. They have a street-level sign that you can't miss. They usually have a wrapped vehicle in the parking lot as well. If you want to go walk in and talk to the guys and gals over there face-to-face, you can. Or you can handle the whole thing over the phone or via the internet. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Get better coverage for less money. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Kids! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We will head to Atlanta a little more than 10 minutes from right now. But right now, Musso has Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Last night, Aaron Nola fired 6 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, just 1 run, walked 2, struck out 10, 97 pitches, 66 strikes, and he got, you guessed it, a no decision. Yeah. But, Matt, you might be saying to yourself, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, that's a really good strikeout to walk ratio.
That's a really good strikeout to walk ratio.
In fact, it's the best in Major League Baseball.
Oh, really? The guy with the best strikeout to walk ratio in Major League Baseball has a losing
shout out to MLB
record.
Network. They tweeted out those leaders. Strikeout to walk ratio. Aaron Nola, 8.3 to 1. That is your leading. Worth noting, Kevin Gausman, another former Tiger, second best, 7.4.
And a losing record on the season for Nola?
Yes, actually. Yeah. He's
leads Major League Baseball in strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah.
And has a losing record.
Yeah, he's 9-11.
Philadelphia needs to trade my guy. We would be talking about Hall of Fame trajectory if he were on a good team where his win-loss record was respectable. You'd be talking about
Cy Young
in the conversation for Cy Young and Hall of Fame trajectory. Instead, he's on a crappy team where he keeps balling every time out, even though he did have a rough start to the season. But he's got his ERA back in line, but a losing record despite having the best strikeout to walk ratio in Major League Baseball. It's absurd. It sucks. It's like it must be what it was like being Adrian Peterson, or like Calvin Johnson.
Oh,
it's Calvin Johnson. He's Calvin Johnson. You're one of the best in the league, total freak show, but your team sucks. You just suck. You suck. Your team sucks.
Perfect illustration of why wins are not a pitcher stat. The man pitched into the 7th inning and got a no decision. Alex Bregman last night, another game, another knock. No.
We claim him.
But that's not how it works at all. 1 for 3 last night. Also drew a walk, reached base twice. I was stranded after his single, though, in that game. 266 on the year for Bregman. Last night, Alex Lang, to wrap us up, 1 shutout inning, did not give up a hit. Did walk 1 batter, struck out another. 11 pitches, 6 strikes for Alex Lang. Tigers fall 5-4 to the Angels. That's embarrassing. And that's Tigers at the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, if you do thrill her with a beautiful diamond that will make you a hero, make her smile every time she looks down at her hand, make her friends insanely jealous, and don't think that doesn't matter. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry can make that happen. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can check them out online. You can find the Lee Michaels location nearest you. If it is about engagement rings, if it's style, if it's shape, if it's setting, if it's all those things that matter that you and I really don't know a lot about, they do. at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Check them out online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where you will always get the Lee Michaels experience. I am trying to decide if I want to talk at all about the Brian Kelly-Leah Van thing. I did not yesterday, did not even mention it. But since yesterday, it has blown up to an absurd proportion. And what I have to say is less about that interaction and more about the response to that interaction. So maybe I'll do that in the next hour. All right, we got a top of the hour break coming. Get you caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter. When we come back, we're headed to Atlanta. Our buddy Mark Zinno will preview the Falcons for us. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Where do you live? Yeah, there's a Shawbills near there. But I'd say there's a Shawbills near there. ShawbillsTire.com. If you're in South Louisiana, there's a Shawbills near you. They started in Morgan City, up to the Baton Rouge area, west into West Baton Rouge, into the Lafayette area. The newest location is in the LP there in Denham Springs, Livingston Parish. You got your own Shawbills now as well. ShawbillsTire.com to find the location nearest you. You can schedule service online. You can shop tires online. It's so easy. And the best part about Shawbills, truthfully, is they do treat you like family. A lot of people have misgivings about going to an auto mechanic shop because if you don't know about the thing you're buying, you feel like you could be taken advantage of. That just never happens at Shawbills. They treat you like family. It's just what Mr. Charlie mandated when he opened the business more than 50 years ago, and it maintains today at Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 49ers star tight end George Kittle did not practice today because of a groin injury. His status for a Sunday season opener against the Bears is unknown. The Jets will turn to quarterback Joe Flacco the first few weeks of this season. Zach Wilson, not yet ready to return from knee surgery, won't be available until week 4 at the earliest, according to coach Robert Saleh.
It's not worth the risk in terms of getting him out there and just making sure that there's the knee element, there's the mind element, there's the practice element, there's just a whole lot of things other than the knee. He hasn't had a setback. He looks fantastic. He still looks good. He feels good.
Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has set Friday as his deadline to suspend negotiations on a contract extension with the team. The Bills and tight end Dawson Knox agreed on a 4-year, $53 million extension, $31 million guaranteed, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Knox becomes one of the highest-paid tight ends in the NFL. Francis Tiafoe is the first American man to reach the U.S. Open semifinals since 2006, following today's straight sets win over Andre Rublev. Las Vegas Aces forward Asia Wilson named WNBA MVP for the second time.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. It is week 1 NFL. Saints, Falcons, getting things started off right. Hootats and the Dirty Birds. Let's go over to Atlanta. Mark Zinno joins us, 92.9 The Game there in Atlanta, the Falcons flagship. Also, Locked On Atlanta. He's on Twitter at Mark Zinno. Hey, man, we appreciate the time as always. How are you?
Well, great to talk to you as always. Fortunately for you, I'm on the receiving end of a really bad football team, so I'm ready. I'm ready to break it all down.
All right, Saints fans are feeling confident, as you might expect. Let's start under center. What realistically is an expectation for Marcus Mariota?
Realistically, for him not to make enough mistakes to lose this team games. That's realistic. Like, he's not going to put anyone on his back and carry them. He's not going to be the 2016 version of Marcus Mariota that was running for touchdowns and throwing for touchdowns. And, you know, he was a fantasy football manager's best friend. And, you know, you thought he was going to be on this meteoric rise. That's not happening again. Because if it was going to happen, it would have happened sometime between now and the last 6 years, and he would be a starter somewhere. So that's not a realistic expectation. That's a false expectation. The only thing realistic you can hope for is that he doesn't make mistakes that hurt the team. He might not be able to win you games, but certainly don't lose them.
Who is he going to throw to, Mark?
Well, he has options, right? And in Arthur Smith's system, he's going to have a lot of options. One, obviously Kyle Pitts should be the guy who is the number one target and have at least 130 to 140 targets this year, along with catching 110 to 120 balls. Like, if that doesn't happen, Arthur Smith is derelict as a head coach. Kyle Pitts is the biggest mismatch on any football field in the NFL right now. Just given his size, his speed, what he's able to accomplish, linebackers can't keep up with him. Defensive backs can't jump over him. So he should be exploited as a mismatch. There may be a handful of guys that you can count on one hand who can cover him. And that's about it. So he's going to be the primary guy. Drake London was brought in, drafted, and, you know, Arthur Smith is being very coy and cautious about his status with his knee that he hurt in preseason. As far as whether he's going to play, he was listed as number 1 on the depth chart, but finish here. Use Cordero Patterson may be interesting to watch as well. I think he'll be more out of the slot and motioning out of the backfield this year than necessarily the running back that they needed him to be last year out of pure necessity. So from that standpoint, I think they have options. It's a question of, can the line protect, and can Marcus Mariota, whose accuracy is waning, can he find them when they're open?
So let's answer one of those. Can the line protect against the Saints?
The short answer is, how about no? We don't know. We honestly, we don't. Like, Drew Dahlman got the starting job over Matt Hennessy. And what does that mean? I don't know, because all these guys are pretty negligible. Like, the idea that you're having a center battle kind of means both of them stink, right? Like, it's just like one of those positions it's not really a battle for. The offensive line, could it be better? Maybe. But there's a difference between them being good enough to be a solid running team, which is what they desperately need for Marcus Mariota, and they've lacked for the last 5 years. And can they protect long enough for in a sort of West Coast style, the old run and shoot offense, if that's what Arthur Smith wants to employ to get rid of the ball quickly? Can they protect long enough for him to find somebody in that manner? Maybe, yeah. But it's going to be interesting because Kyle Pitts last year, and this is an interesting stat, guys. Kyle Pitts, of all receivers who caught at least 50 balls, was 5th in the NFL in yards per catch, behind guys like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. What does that mean? It means that he wasn't running 35 yards downfield and catching the ball in the air. It means he was running 3- and 5-yard outs and then taking it upfield, and nobody could bring him down. And I think that's the strategy they'll employ again.
Let's flip the field, Mark. The Saints, there's people here who are very optimistic about the Saints offense because of getting Michael Thomas back, the weapons they've added, Jarvis Landry being healthy again. Before we go specific about Atlanta's defense, if I just said, what do you think about this Saints offense? What's your opinion?
Very simply, I don't trust any offense that's not run by Sean Payton in New Orleans. I mean, I think that's fair.
Okay.
And I know this may be blasphemy to your listeners, but, like, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, Sean Payton made Drew Brees. If Drew Brees was never in New Orleans, he's an average quarterback his entire career. Sorry, I just think he is. I think that's how good Sean Payton is of a play caller and a schemer, and the ability he has to exploit the other team's defensive weaknesses is so superior to almost every other coach in this league. It's not even funny. I mean, to me, he is that good. So I don't trust any offense that Sean Payton isn't calling the plays from. What can Dennis Allen do? I don't know. I wouldn't even begin to suppose to know. But what I do know is that the one thing that Sean Payton was able to do and would have been able to do with a healthy Jameis Winston is eliminate his opportunities for mistakes. He would have schemed things so wide open that Jameis wouldn't have had the ability to make mistakes. They would have been incomplete. And so from that standpoint, I think if you can limit Jameis's turnovers, and maybe Jameis has, who knows, maybe he's learned how to not throw picks in the last couple of years. I don't know that because we haven't seen a full season of him due to injury. But that's going to be obviously the biggest concern. And is there a running game left in New Orleans? I know Kamara's there, but is he a guy that you're going to give the ball to 18, 20, 22 times a game? I still say no.
Yeah, he hasn't been that at any point in his career. They've really utilized a two-back system. So I think the bigger question is, how much gas does Mark Ingram have left in the tank? What about the Atlanta defense, Mark? And I asked that question very open-ended because I was curious what direction you took it. And it was interesting that you went the Sean Payton route because I do think that's something we all collectively have not really talked enough about here, is just how big of a loss that is. But specifically to the Falcons, where are they good defensively?
At corner. I mean, that's it. Like, A.J. Terrell is a top 5 corner in this league. The metrics say that. The Pro Football Focus nerds say that. And just watch him play. You'll see very quickly. So this is the interesting part. And I don't know what Dean Pease is going to do, if he's going to move A.J. Terrell around and he's going to follow either Chris Olave or Michael Thomas around all over wherever they go in the field, or between him and Casey Hayward on the other side. Are they going to just stick with whoever is there? Casey Hayward's not great, but he's serviceable. And when you have A.J. Terrell on the other side, then you got a shot. Now, where they could beat the Saints is at safety, which is a real question mark. Richie Grant was the guy that Terry Fontenot, the GM, you guys know him well, obviously, drafted in the second round last year. Everybody in Atlanta is using Richie Grant as the litmus test of, can you find guys outside of the first round that can play? And we're going to find out in the school of hard knocks right now in week 1, because you got some burners there, man. I mean, Olave can stretch the field like nobody's business. And Michael Thomas, he's still, to me, if he's healthy, is a 5-yard slant in a cloud of dust, man. So there's going to be some work done on those safeties. I'll say it plainly. The Falcons aren't going to get a pass rush, so I'm not even going to try to assume that they will be. Until I see otherwise, you know, until I see otherwise, it's like playing the lotto. Until somebody tells me I actually have a ticket that wins, I don't believe it. So why even buy the ticket? I'm not buying a ticket to say the Falcons can get to the quarterback. They can't. Grady Jarrett is the only guy on that front seven that would ever keep a defensive coordinator up at night. Arnold Ebiketie, the guy that drafted at Penn State in the second round as well, I think he'll be used situationally as a pass rusher. Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator, seems to think that he's finally got the guys that he wants. That's like saying I found all the oldest CDs at the bottom of the barrel that I really, really love because no one's listening to freaking CDs anymore. Like, that's great. You finally found the guys you want, but nobody else wanted them. So what does that tell you? So I don't know who these guys are, if they can be any good, but Dean Pease seems to think that they can be. So we'll wait and see. But, I mean, look, this defense is going to have to be opportunistic. They're going to have to create turnovers because it's the only thing that's going to be able to keep them in games. And when you have a guy like A.J. Terrell that can shut down half the field, you have a little bit of flexibility to try some things that you wouldn't normally necessarily do without a player like that. But, you know, this is a team, Matt, that does not play well from behind, and they won't play well from behind this year because they don't have the talent and they can't close in that manner. So if the Saints get up early, 14-0, 14-3, how quick will Arthur Smith hit the panic button on offense and just start to drop back the pass, which is a recipe for disaster with Marcus Mariota? You know, only he knows. But I think the Falcons have to keep it close, and they've got to be able to try to grind the tempo down a little bit.
Beginning of life without Matt Ryan, it is going to be a weird sight to watch a Saints-Falcons game. No Drew Brees, no Sean Payton, no Matt Ryan. It's things that we've just become used to for the last dozen years, and now it's just not.
And let me give you one more, Matt, real quick. Famous Saints killer Deion Jones is not playing in this game, obviously. And oh, by the way, how the Falcons have botched that whole situation to me is beyond laughable. It's head-scratching. I mean, nobody in the organization talks like they want him there. Nobody talks like he's part of the full-time plans. He's not even going to play to try and increase what limited value or zero value that he has into something. I have no idea what they're hanging on to this guy for. I don't know why they're doubling down on a bad investment with his contract and keeping him around. But, hey, you know, he always played great against the Saints. He had fantastic games against them his entire career, but he won't be there on Sunday. So that might be a little bit of an edge for you guys.
A New Orleans kid who went to LSU. Everyone here knows and loves him well. They wanted to do well, just not against the Saints. But you're right. He had some amazing plays. I mean, the leaping was it Thursday Night Football game, the leaping interception in the end zone to finish. I mean, he was perennially tough to deal with. Hey, if there is a blueprint, last thing, if there is a blueprint for the Falcons to win this game, what is it?
Other than pray?
It's a 5-point line, man. It's the end of given Sunday, right?
Now, listen, look, full disclosure, I'm taking the Falcons in the points with the number.
Okay.
Week 1 divisional games are always close. They always are. Generally, they are. If the Falcons want to win this thing, they have to get a lead early, and they have to play from out in front because Arthur Smith can be a lot more open with his play calling. But I think they're going to have to create turnovers, as I said a moment ago. Like, force Jameis into spots, and they know him well. They played him in Tampa Bay. I mean, look, there are plenty of people around that building who still understand how to rattle Jameis a little bit. But I would tell you that I think that they have to have some measure of success in the running game. How creative they're going to be. Maybe they do it with short passes as well. I think this is a Saints team that defensively is still going to be very good. I just don't know if their offense is going to be able to execute at the level that they used to. You know, I mean, the fact that this team was almost in the playoffs last year with Trevor Siemian and a whole bunch of garbage quarterbacks running around speaks to, in my opinion, how great Sean Payton is. With him gone, I think the offense struggles a little bit. If they open the door for the Falcons, there's a chance that they could walk through it. The biggest thing is the Falcons are not a team that can make mistakes. Go back to their preseason game real quick against, I think it was their second preseason game against the Jets. It was the first play of the game where Kyle Pitts was streaking down the left sideline. Mariota badly underthrows him. I mean, horribly underthrows him, almost to the point where it could have been picked. It was a 52-yard gain, and what resulted in a 3-point field goal from Younghoe Koo. That is a mistake you cannot make against a team like the Saints. That's got to be 6. You can't miss that throw. You can't settle for field goals because you're going to get burned. This team was 7-2 last year in one-score games. They're not good enough to avoid regression in that department. So they're going to be on the wrong end of a lot of one-score games this year because things like that happen. They need to be flawless in almost every aspect of the game if they're going to win. If they make mistakes, other teams will capitalize. I expect the Saints will as well.
He's on Twitter at Mark Zinno, 92.9 The Game. It's the Falcons flagship. Of course, Locked On Sports Atlanta as well. I should mention Mark does a lot of gambling content for VSiN and PicksWise. You can follow them all on Twitter, so go follow Mark on Twitter for a lot of that great content. Mark, we appreciate you, man. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the season. We'll talk soon.
Matty, you're the best. Can't wait to do it again.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. That is Mark Zinno. We appreciate him. Dude does a great job. We've done a lot of reciprocal stuff over the years, so we appreciate him for a couple of minutes. But, again, if you do want some of that gambling content, I'm looking at his Twitter right now. I knew he did VSiN, but he also does PicksWise and Sports Grid TV. So likes the Falcons and the points, which, I mean, honestly, divisional game to open the season. The Saints have to go on the road, and they're a 5.5-point road favorite in a divisional game. I mean, that is a big number. I mean, you've got to. It does make me a bit leery. I think the Saints are a vastly better team, but for a lot of reasons why you should feel a little anxious about that number. I do. I like the Saints to win, as we'll talk about. I don't know if I like them to cover the number, but we'll talk about that on Friday. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, some updated college football bowl projections. Brian Kelly met with the media on the SC Coaches teleconference today. A little purple and gold when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in the Baton Rouge area. For a list of all of their services, all of their locations, go to the website at brgeneral.org. Talk all the time about the Regional Burn Center, which is at the Mid-City location, the Pennington Cancer Center at the Bluebonnet campus, emergency rooms, Mid-City, Bluebonnet, the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital. If you're going down I-10, you'll see the back, I-10, well, I guess whichever direction. If you're near the Prairieville exit, you'll see it right there, the back of the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital, which the ER faces the interstate. So you could see Ascension Parish has emergency care closer than ever, thanks to the Baton Rouge General. And, of course, the Express Care locations, walk-in, urgent care, 7 days a week, courtesy of the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Learn more at brgeneral.org. That's brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, Hunt and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old margs. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Crafted with real lime juice and the crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Please check out dropbiscuit.com and browse our growing library. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to Pops, Fame, You Talking to Me, For the People, Well Stated, or whatever Southern-flavored audio biscuit you fancy.
LSU Daily.
LSU Daily. That's dropbiscuit.com.
LSU Daily.
Yeah. Busso at the box.
It's not baseball season.
And we've got less than a month till fall practice.
Oh, Jesus. Bro. If you're doing a baseball podcast during fall ball, I mean, God bless. But if you just like talking to yourself, go ahead and do it. But, Lord.
You work with me. You know I like talking to myself. I do that quite often.
Are you an external processor?
To an extent, yes.
My brother's an external processor. My mother-in-law talks to herself all the time. I mean, she'll be in the loony bin when she's old. Well, let me rephrase. I don't mean to say, but you know what I mean. Like, she's my mother-in-law. I love her. I could say this, but it's like, you know what I mean. But it's like, by the time you get there, you ain't gonna tell the difference because she just walks around talking to herself all the time anyway. But my brother's like that. He's an external processor. He just has to talk about things, you know, whatever he sees or does or what. It's just me. I mean, you guys know this. We sit in this room. I mean, every break I barely say a word. I'm just thinking about what the next thing is I have to do. Like this. Brian Kelly met with reporters on the SEC teleconference today. There was no kerfuffle of which to speak. He did, however, talk about playing an FCS school and the in-state FCS school with Southern coming in.
I do. I think that, if you're going to go that route, I would like to be able to help out the in-state institutions. We are the flagship university, and I just think that that's a good partnership for our state, recognition for schools that, have done it the right way and continue to, educate in the manner that we see as part of our mission as well. So all of that kind of aligns with what President Tate and Scott want to do, and I feel like, that's the right course that we want to continue to take.
The right course is to not play FCS schools. But if you're going to, then I do agree playing in-state schools to keep the money in state does matter. It's weird because, like, Nick Saban has the opposite point of view. Nick Saban does not play the Alabama State schools. They don't. Like, they don't play Troy and UAB and those schools at the University of Alabama. I've never heard an explanation why he doesn't want to do that, but they don't. LSU has begun this, where every year they have it on a rotating basis. They play the state schools. You've seen LSU play McNeese and play Southeastern and play ULM and ULL. And so, yeah, I mean, you have seen those schools rotate through, and now Southern for the first time. And this is a massive deal for Southern to be able to cash that check. I mean, that's how they fund their athletic department, is to play these types of games. And the game is sold out. LSU did announce earlier today that the LSU Southern game is a sellout. So your only opportunity for tickets now is on the secondary market. If you're looking for tickets to LSU and Southern for Saturday in Tiger Stadium. Muse and I were having the conversation off air. about actual attendance. And I won't put words in your mouth. What was your target that you told me off air?
I said I think there's actually going to be around 75,000 people there.
I think they will easily clear 90,000 actual for this game for a lot of reasons. And it's very LSU seldom, if ever, puts 102 butts in the seats anymore. Just unless it's Garth Brooks or probably Alabama, if you're talking about a top 5 matchup. It's just not going to happen. People don't go at those numbers anymore. It's unfortunate, but LSU got caught up in stadium expansion at a time where the home viewing experience continued to improve, and people go to games less. That's just the nature of it. You're not going to sell 102,000 tickets or put 102,000 butts in seats for games anymore. It's like you bought a whole fleet of horses for your carriages the day the Model T was invented. Sorry, just the timing sucked. But the Southern game, I think you will have Southern fans who will look. There's times they don't fill Mumford Stadium. What's the capacity? Please look up the capacity of Mumford. I think it's in the 20s. But there's times Southern doesn't fill Mumford, and they will. I think Southern fans will come to this game for the novelty of having a chance to see Southern play in Tiger Stadium. It's similar for players who get to play in Tiger Stadium and the cool novelty of it. It's the same thing for fans, which is why fans want to make that trip. So my guess is there's going to be a lot of Southern fans who usually go to Southern games and aren't at LSU games who might be walking into Tiger Stadium for the first time ever, and certainly for the first time ever having the opportunity to watch Southern play in Tiger Stadium. So the novelty of that will bring a lot of opposing fans, which you typically wouldn't see. If LSU was playing Tennessee-Chattanooga, the Mocs ain't bringing 20,000 people. You may have 20,000 Southern fans in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. What is it?
28,500.
Okay, so 28 is the capacity of Mumford. There's games they don't put 28. You'll have 20,000 Southern fans in Tiger Stadium. I would be certain of that on Saturday. And then for LSU fans, it's the home opener. So that's always going to draw more because you wait 8 months for to go back into Tiger Stadium. So the home opener will absolutely draw. And it's the first game of the Brian Kelly era in Tiger Stadium. I know it sucks that they lost last week to Florida State and some of that. If this was the first game of the season, or had they beaten Florida State, I think you might have a different vibe. There might be some people who sit it out. But if the weather's nice, I think you'll have over 90,000 actual. And LSU does not publish an actual attendance number, but I will tell you that I will ask game day operations, and I will see if I can get an actual attendance number for you, and we'll talk about it next week. But I am looking forward to a great game. The detriment to playing this game, like if there is one singular downside, it's hotels. We talked about this yesterday, I think, with Lee. Hotels, restaurants. Normally, the tourism industry, hotels would be filled from people coming in from out of state or whatever. I mean, you live in Baton Rouge, you're not buying hotels this weekend. So that's probably a bummer for hotels, restaurants, a lot of that. But here's hoping. It's a great weekend for the city and for the whole community to have Southern and LSU play together in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's after further review. We'll get to some bold projections here in a second. I'm still debating if I want to talk about the Brian Kelly, Leah Van thing. I might. Let me take just 60 seconds really quick, remind you about Mold Zero USA. Jim Woodworth, awesome guy. One of the most fascinating people that you'd ever meet. So he's a veteran, the Air Force. He's from California. His family of he told me he's one of 13 kids. I mean, just a fascinating story. And the things he's done helping New York cover post 9/11, helping South Louisiana after the oil spill. He has been such a huge part of massive recovery efforts, and his expertise has lent in Mold Zero as well. Mold-0USA.com, mold-0USA.com. Your home or your office, you have mold, odors. This is a patented dry fog treatment process. It is non-toxic. Gets into every nook and cranny of your home. You don't have to move things out. It's non-toxic. It's none of that stuff. It is minimally disruptive, and you were talking about little to no demolition. It's Mold Zero, and you're going to get great customer service. Mold-0USA.com. That's mold-0USA.com, servicing the greater Baton Rouge and greater New Orleans area. So if you go to the website, mold-0USA.com, you'll see the phone number at the top for either Baton Rouge or New Orleans. Mold-0USA.com. Okay. Where's my? Oh, there it is. Losing all my show prep. USA Today updated bowl projections. They've got your Fighting Tigers of LSU playing Central Florida in the Birmingham Bowl, exactly where they had them a year ago, or a week ago, excuse me, on these bowl projections. The changes, they've got Georgia and Bama playing for the national championship. Georgia in the Peach Bowl against Oklahoma. Bama in the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. Then Georgia-Bama rematch for the Natty. They've got A&M in the Sugar Bowl, Arkansas in the Citrus Bowl, Florida in the Rely Quest. That's the former, help me out here. Oh, that's the former Outback Bowl, excuse me. Rely Quest is the former Outback Bowl. Tennessee playing Michigan State in the Music City Bowl. Ole Miss taking on Miami in the Gator Bowl. Auburn against TCU in the Texas Bowl. Kentucky in the Liberty Bowl against Texas. Then LSU, as we mentioned, against UCF at the Birmingham Bowl. South Carolina against North Carolina in the Gasparilla, and then Mississippi State against Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl. So a couple of takeaways from this. 12 out of 14 teams. Sorry, Vandy and Mizzou. They still have LSU in a bowl game. So if you're thinking it's going to bottom out for LSU, bottom would be 6 wins here. A little surprised that they have Kentucky in the Liberty Bowl. A lot of people are high on Kentucky, and this is a massive week for Kentucky going to Gainesville. If they really want to establish themselves as the second best team in the West, or excuse me, in the East, they got to go to Gainesville and win. I'm curious what effort we get out of Florida. Massive emotional win, physical game a week ago, and now you got to play at 11 a.m. Or I guess it'll be noon Eastern, but noon in the Swamp, day game against Kentucky coming in. Can you really get up again another week for a physical contest against Kentucky? It's going to be a really tough game. But Kentucky, they've got in the Liberty Bowl, and they're not spooked by A&M having a little bit of a rough go against Sam Houston. They got Baylor against A&M in the Sugar Bowl, and then Mississippi State, as we mentioned, in the Las Vegas Bowl. That would just devastate me. The Las Vegas Bowl.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Thank you, Muse. Mississippi State against Oregon. I can't understand why you would put Mississippi State in the Las Vegas Bowl and not LSU.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Thank you, Muse. I mean, what fan base would better represent in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Bowl than LSU?
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Yes, give me the Las Vegas Bowl, please. 6-6 LSU against anybody. I don't care. Just give me the Las Vegas Bowl. This is what I want.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Reaction time a little slow, Muse?
No.
Can't imagine why. Reaction time was a little slow. Feeling good, huh, Muse?
Feeling okay.
Feeling good.
It's a Wednesday.
Hey, Paul, it felt like his reaction time was a little slow in those drops, didn't it? I mean, it just felt like it was a beat slow.
It was a little slow.
Yeah, it was a little slow. I thought so. Thank you, Paulie. You can always count on Paulie to give you an honest assessment.
Oh, you can always count on Paulie.
You can always count on Paulie to give you an honest
assessment.
You can always count on him to give you an honest assessment. That is just a genuinely good human. Paul is like George Washington. He cannot tell a lie. I want to go to the Las Vegas Bowl.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
That's right. I mean, it's really all I want. Okay, it's after further review. Oh, it's Pluckers Trivia Night. It's Jeopardy Trivia. You know what that means, right?
I mean, it's trivia about Jeopardy, or you have to answer in the form of a question?
You have to answer in the form of a question.
I like it.
I've got a few for you when we come back. Okay, so we'll do the Jeopardy Trivia thing. I got a few for you, Muse. And then I guess I have a coin flip here. Do I talk about Michael Thomas, who did go through the walkthrough on Monday in practice today, or do I talk about the Leah Van, Brian Kelly thing? I'll tell you what, text me your answer. I'll do whatever you want. 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Just text me if you want me to talk about the Kelly Van thing, Leah Van thing, or if you want me to talk about Michael Thomas practicing. It's AFR.
AFR.
Every day, I usually share a 5-star Google review with you about people who've had a phenomenal experience with River City's 1 Hour Air. Today, however, I do not need to do that because today I can share my own. Patrick Cannon of River City's 1 Hour Air was at my house earlier today. I got a phone call, a text, an email alerting me Patrick was on his way. The text and the email had a picture of Patrick and a link of all the reviews of the work he's done in the past, and he did a magnificent job. He was there early, as a matter of fact, and spent about 2 hours servicing our unit. I tell you all the time, you should have your AC and your heater, the seasonal maintenance done every single year, which will extend the life of your unit. We had a phenomenal customer service experience today, like we do every time River City's 1 Hour Air comes to our house. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at Revelry.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, God bless to Jed Meir and Christopher Jackson, Kelly Anderson, the few of you that texted and wanted me to talk about Michael Thomas being healthy for week one, but a bajillion of you all said talk about the Leah Van Brian Kelly thing. Okay, here's what I will say, and this is less about that interaction and more about the big picture of the whole thing. I'm assuming by now all of you are aware what happened. Brian Kelly had his weekly press conference on Tuesday. He usually starts at noon. He started at 11:53, so he started 7 minutes early. Several media members walked in, air quotes, late. They were actually early, but late because he started early. Brian Kelly made the comment about putting $10 in the kitty, and Leah Van clapped back and said, yeah, maybe if you win, I'll be on time. there's a reason why nobody in that room, and I was one of them, there's a reason why nobody in that room published anything about that interaction. Because everyone in that room understood Brian Kelly was joking and Leah was joking. Since Brian Kelly was hired, darn near every time we've talked to him, he has cracked a joke. They are not very good jokes, but he has cracked a joke. Colby Richardson, we laughed at it a couple of weeks ago whenever he made the joke about finally getting his name right, that sort of thing. Remember his first press conference. Somebody asked him about, if he would, who calls the plays. He said, let me be very clear. I call the plays that work. And then he had to say, guys, I'm joking, lighten up. He tries to joke often, and in turn, as people have gotten more comfortable with him, they joke back. Leah apologized, and rightfully so. Brian Kelly was not in any way offended by it, and that should have been it. Here's, she shouldn't have said it, professional setting, all that stuff, but it's not about that. One of the things that I love about the state of media in 2022, and this is a catch-22. One of the things I love is that there is no barrier to entry. The traditional gatekeepers are no longer matter. It used to be that if you wanted an opportunity to broadcast with distribution, you had to be hired by one of the networks, by the gatekeepers that control distribution. The internet changed all that. It's free. If you have an internet connection, you can broadcast. You can write. You can post pictures or videos or whatever you want. And it's amazing because it's a true meritocracy. The best people will win because ultimately the audience will decide, not the people in suits and corner offices who make a decision if they're going to hire somebody. And I love that. The flip side of it is it has drastically reduced, if not altogether eliminated, journalistic integrity. And I'm not sitting here on a high horse. What I do is not journalism. I'm not a reporter. I am an opinion maker. What I do is I talk about the things that we discuss. However, I do have a journalism background and training there, and it does matter how you approach certain topics to do so fairly and have good information and things like that. That is non-existent for the vast majority of people who have jumped into content creation. So people take that clip knowing it's salacious, throw it out there, and it gets all the run it did today, lacking context. If anybody would have taken a moment to contact LSU or Leah to ask for context around that clip and told the entirety of the story, it would have been a non-story. But it's so much easier to completely lack context around it and say, media claps at Brian Kelly, terrible times, no respect for Brian Kelly. No, it was just two people joking. That's literally all it was. But that doesn't get clicks. And that's the unfortunate state of media in 2022. And it doesn't change, and I'm not going to change it, but the challenging part, because someone said, I mentioned that earlier today on Morning Scone, and someone said to me, well, ESPN's talking about it. Yes, ESPN's talking about it. Because ESPN has to play the same game. When ESPN had their massive rounds of layoffs a few years ago, who got fired? Reporters got fired. Jason Stark got fired. Ed Werder got fired. Andy Katz got fired. Why? Every athlete has their own Twitter, podcast. You'll need, as long as you got Woj, Schefter, for all your made, you got one dude or lady that breaks all the news. It's all you need. That's all that they've determined they need. You know the highest paid employees at ESPN? Do you know? Do you know who the highest paid employee is at ESPN? Stephen A. Makes more than $8 million a year. Where's the priority? He's wonderful at what he does, by the way. And Stephen A. was a reporter for 30 years before he became an opinion maker on First Take. Whether you like him or don't, disagree, whatever. But that's just the nature of media in 2022. And it's unfortunate. And I'll tell you the other big takeaway that I had was, man, I'm still getting to know Brian Kelly. We all know who he is, right? I mean, all of us. Coaching Notre Dame a long time. He's been a public figure for a long time. But I can't tell you that I know Brian Kelly or much about him at all, other than just, very, very surface, superficial level what he was at Notre Dame until he's gotten here. But I will tell you this. He is the antithesis of the way he has been, the way he's handled us, the antithesis of the way he's painted publicly. I think he has been warm and engaging and great to cover and work with. He has made it easier for us to do our jobs with the access he has given. I think he has been as candid as he can be with answers. He's been engaging. He has clearly has a sense of humor, is willing to laugh at himself. I think all of those are very charming and endearing qualities in a person, whether you're a coach or not or anything. But clearly, the national media does not view him that way. Somewhere along the way in his career, he became a villain to a lot of people. And there are a lot of people who want him to fail at LSU. That much is very, very clear because he has become an easy target. From the family thing to the dancing with the recruit thing to, and obviously what happened with the way the game ended against Florida State, and now this whole interaction, he has become a very easy target, and I don't quite understand. I don't quite know why, because I just don't know him or the relationship he's had with national media members well enough. But this was an unfortunate illustration of another incident where the current state of media took something that was not a thing and made it something it wasn't, and took an opportunity to keep chopping Brian Kelly, when honestly, thought he handled it perfectly. I mean, if he wanted to, he could have lashed out, didn't, just rolled. Because I think that's what he's been, even coming off the loss they just came off of. It would have been understandable if he was testy, but he wasn't. So, anyway, I don't know really if that's what you want to hear or even what you thought you would hear, but the thing was a total non-thing. It was a thing where both were very clearly joking, and neither was offended by either thing. And I'm looking forward to it dying off. And tomorrow, the media, the members of the media that are just seeking clicks are going to be on to the next thing that's salacious, that'll drive clicks and numbers that can drive revenue for them. So you take the good with the bad. Okay, we'll grab a break. Jimmy will do auto locks next. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Earlier today, I had a chat with Darren, and he wanted me to share with you another 5-star raving fan review to Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. This time, it came from an AFR listener. An AFR listener named Nick Bowie and Bailey Berglass. Dakota Lang from Darren's team helped them purchase their home in the Denham Springs area. They were thrilled with their purchase and their service. Also, Nick McDowell and Lexi Bailey, first-time home buyers. They were worried about interest rates, but they were paired with a lender who got them a fantastic rate on their home, provided great service. That's what Darren and his team do. They will always provide exceptional customer service and get you in that home of your dreams. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Dad!
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well.
Kids!
It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Jay Ducote.
I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Plucker's. Jeopardy-themed trivia tonight at both Plucker's locations. Get on by. One thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, James Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing good till I watch the Yankees spoil a chance to win it in the bottom of the 11th with the bases loaded and nobody out. Couldn't score a run.
Shut up.
I got them today.
Just give us your damn picks.
Tough one last night, 5-0 lead, and then blew the lead in the ninth with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we were right there. 17 games in Major League Baseball today. Aaron Judge went deep today, 55, by the way. So the Astros in St. Louis, moneyline parlay, coming back up about even money. And then we got Kansas City and Baltimore. Both teams are at home. A little benches clearing, kind of face off last night between the Blue Jays and the Orioles. Manoah, the last two times that Baltimore has faced him, that's 4 and 5 starts back. They hit him pretty good. Total of 10 2/3 innings. They got 7 runs off of him. So I think a little value coming back at home with the Baltimore Orioles going against that same pitcher that they've been seeing pretty good. So that's what we got tonight. A little parlay, a little money on parlay, and 2 underdogs tonight. Kansas City at home with the veteran Zach Greinke at plus $1.23 against the Cleveland Guardians and Morris.
So Kansas City money line, Baltimore money line. I'm looking for Kansas City right now to see where I have it.
But
there it is. Kansas City. I'm looking at 115.
Okay.
So Kansas City, Baltimore, and then a Houston-St. Louis money line parlay.
Houston and St. Louis, yes.
All right, we're gonna get.
What's that pay for you?
I would assume. I'm trying to do it right now. I would assume while I do this, I would assume we will have football picks tomorrow.
1 minute remaining.
Yes. Football trumps baseball. So when football's playing, we rarely do any baseball picks. So baseball is there to kind of keep us occupied on the off days for NFL and for college football.
I am looking at $1.22 on the money line parlay.
Okay.
Minus $1.22. Minus.
Oh, minus? Okay.
Minus $1.22 on the money line parlay for those. So, all right, we got them locked in. Otter, where are you tonight?
City Slice Pints and Pizza. We've got the U.S. Open. We've got the Yankees on. We've got the Dodgers on. We've got a little football. We got a good show for you tonight at City Slice Pints and Pizza just outside the North Gates of LSU.
All right. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com. Thank you, Otter.
All right, thanks.
All right. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us. It's going to do it for us. Heading over to Oliver Twist. We'll see you there. Trivia night at Pluckers as well. Get on by. We'll see you tomorrow.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. In Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. Remember, new or certified pre-owned. If you're looking for a brand new vehicle, nothing is going to beat Volkswagen. When you're talking about that great German engineering, the quality of the engineering, the 9 IIHS top safety picks, the style, the feel, the performance, all of it without the cost. But if you're looking to buy a pre-owned vehicle, not only do they have pre-owned Volkswagens, but all different makes and models. Trucks, SUVs, just go to the website, search their entire inventory there online. They do have a nice inventory, and if they don't have the vehicle you're looking for, they can order it for you. So get on by and see our friends at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. They move more inventory so they can offer you a better deal at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized